Well, appears I have lost my commentary, but we gotta go ahead and get started. I'm sure he'll jump back in relatively soon. Ah, there he is. Good morning, Bagu.
Good morning.
We are just about ready to get this started. So yes, as I said, I'm solarcell007. With me on commentary is Don't Bagu Me. How you doing, Bagu?
I am well. I am ready to go. I got my coffee. It may be 3 o'clock in the morning, but I've had worse.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this countdown going. I'm just going to say right now I'm going to be playing on advanced mode. You've got 4 different difficulty modes you can choose in the randomizer. So we'll be going on advanced, type 2 for speedrunning. Let's go ahead and get this started in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so while I get my bearings straight, I'm going to let Bagu go ahead and introduce the randomizer a little bit, so take it away, Bagu.
Thank you, SolarCell. First of all, you'll notice that Solar's sprite is a little different than what you would normally see in the vanilla game. So custom sprites are a thing. But anyway, so what has been randomized in the randomizer? Items have been shuffled. Abilities have been randomized and can show up in any dark space. The mystic statues that are required to beat the game have been randomized. You need to rescue Kara from a painting. Her location is randomized. Various puzzles have been randomized, such as Ishtar's puzzles, which we're seeing right now.
Which I wasn't paying attention to, so maybe we'll just go ahead and guess?
The hieroglyph order in the pyramid, the length of the Snape game in Dao. There's an randomizer mode where enemies are shuffled. There's a boss shuffle mode where bosses are randomized. And in this mode, we are showcasing 2 new features. One is Overworld Shuffle and the other is Entrance Randomizer. So the way that we've handled overworld movement in the game is that the 19 locations in the game have been grouped into 5 continents. In Overworld Shuffle, those locations are linked to random continents. And in the exit shuffle or an entrance randomizer, every exit in the game is linked to a completely different exit in the game. So there we go. That's about all I can say in the beginning. Right now, this mode is safe start, which means in the vanilla game you start in the school in South Cape. In this mode, he can start at any dark space from any town. There's also unsafe start and forced unsafe start, which can/forces you to start in the middle of a dungeon. So that's fun. So Solar is starting in South Cape, which is very good news because he has access to all of the exits in South Cape as well as whatever locations are on the overworld. So that's there's between 2 and 5 locations on the overworld right now. So right now he's just collecting the items, he's checking out all of these locations, and he's hopefully taking good mental notes or physical notes.
Physical notes right now?
Yes. It's too early for mental notes. Entrance randomizers, for those that are familiar with these kinds of games, Link to the Past randomizer, of course, has an entrance shuffle. It's all about taking good notes. So he'll be coming across locations that he's not going to be able to do anything with, and he's going to have to remember where they are for later when he gets certain items. So that's just what he's doing now. As far as what to do to beat this game, so in the vanilla game, you have 6 mystic statues that you collect at the end of these 6 major dungeons throughout the game. In the randomizer, you can set the number of mystic statues that are required for your seed. There are, again, up to 6. You can specify a number. You can have it give you a random number.
What a jerk.
Yeah, Solar just went through a one-way exit. He needs a key in order to get back. But fortunately, he's been in this place already, so he's not locked or anything. Because that would never happen. That's not a thing.
No.
No, this game would never soft lock you. This isn't at all a development version of the game that has not been thoroughly vetted. And so all of the kinks have been worked out, and there's no possibility of soft locking at all. Anyway, moving on. So this is a 4 statue mode, I believe, which means that there are 4 random statues, which means 4 random bosses are required to beat the game. So that's one requirement. The other requirement is that, as I mentioned before, Kara, who in the vanilla game at the end of this dungeon that you just saw, which is Angel Dungeon, at the end of that dungeon, you collect some magic dust and you free her from a painting. Well, in the randomizer, that painting can show up at the end of one of the 5 minor dungeons. And so that location has been randomized as well. So in order to face Dark Gaia and beat the game, Solar needs to find the magic dust, needs to find Kara, and use that magic dust to free her from her painting. And so that's the other part of the puzzle. So getting the mystic statues, freeing Kara from her painting. Get out of here. And that guy's a little rude, but you know, it's all right. And he also needs to find the aura, which unlocks Shadow's form. The reason why you have to get Kara, by the way, is because the attack that you need to defeat Dark Gaia is called the Firebird attack, and it's a ranged attack that's used in Shadow's form, and you need that in order to beat that boss. And Kara, in the lore of the game, is the Light Knight, and Will is the Dark Knight. And so when they merge together, they unlock the Firebird attack. And actually, in this mode, you can check to have early Firebird, which means that if you're able to free Kara, get Shadow, and get the Crystal Ring early, then all of Shadow's attacks will have the Firebird attack, which is a lot of.
Oh, couldn't have been that easy right there, could it?
Nah, well. So that's where Kara normally shows up at the end of Angel Dungeon, and so we know that her painting is not there. It could be at the end of either Edward's prison, the Diamond Mine, Angel Village, which we know that it's not because we just found that room. Mount Crest, which is the psychedelic one with all the mushrooms and such, and Anchor Wat. So she can be any one of those. Right now, Solar is seeking out a hint, and he now knows that Killer 6 is required for this seed. So that's
so
lovely.
a little peeking behind the curtain right here. I don't know this seed at all. The only person on this planet that knows this seed is Bagu. Oh.
Which again, I may or may not have vetted because there may or may not be softlock opportunities in the development version of the game. Neither confirm nor deny that.
All right. So he knew, at least in some regard, that Crystal Ball was on Killer 6. So obviously he has no love for me whatsoever.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a Bagu seed if it wasn't a little bit.
I'll give that to you
gnarly.
for sure. All right, so yeah, as you can see,
so,
dungeons it can kind of be anywhere in Entrance Rando. But go ahead, Bagu. Sounds like I cut you off.
Oh no, that's fine. I was just going to explain what you're explaining right now, and I've been talking a lot, so I want to hear the sultry stylings of solarcell.
Well, okay. So yeah, I just got done warping from Edward's castle, and usually that puts you into the prison. But it just so turns out that is our access to Sky Garden. There's a couple different ways you can actually get the Sky Garden. At least in... oh, sweet, sweet magic dust. At least in this, so I can use that warp from Edwards, which is entrance rando based, or I can take the... I want to go here first. I can take the teapot... Oh, no, because the teapot warp is different too.
Right. Well, it looks like the king has inherited the teapot. Is what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a one-way warp that takes you to Sky Garden, and then there's also a coupled exit that takes you to and from Sky Garden that you normally get to from the Nazca point.
Yeah.
But that kind of shows you another aspect of this game. The use of the items has been moved around a little bit. This is actually sort of a ROM hack wrapped in a randomizer, because the vanilla game is so darn linear that a lot of the key items that we found, a lot of the story items, didn't really have any functionality beyond just advancing the story. And so to keep it interesting and to give them all these items use in the randomizer, we've changed some of the items functionality. For instance, I mentioned before that the locations are grouped into 5 continents, and if you can access one area in a continent, you can have access to any of the areas in that continent. But moving in between continents can be unlocked with certain items. Like for instance, if you get Lola's letter, which is normally an end game item that you get, and really doesn't have any bearing on the story at all. It's just a quest item that you get in Dow at the end of the game. That actually unlocks passage to a bunch of continents. The way that we've skinned that in the game is that that letter from Lola is Bill teaching Will how to understand Morse code, which allows him to talk with Seth, who in the game has been turned into a fish monster who communicates via Morse code. And so then you can talk to him via Morse code, and he tells you he can take you across the sea to all these different continents. So that's an example of the way that we've kind of reskinned some of these items to actually be useful and relevant in the randomizer. He mentioned the teapot, which was an item that used to reveal Neil's parents to be ghosts somehow, but in the randomizer we've changed that to heal the spirits in the Moon Tribe. And Solar has gotten Spin Dash, which he's pretty happy about. Aren't you glad that he didn't get Slider?
Super glad. Right now, when you start out, at least in my mentality, I try to find, I'm sure everybody just tries to find as many ability moves as possible. You only need 3 moves to actually beat a run through this at most. Sometimes you can be required to need Earthquaker if you don't have Friar, but really, most of the time you just need Spin Dash, Psycho Slider, and Dark Friar. So I'm pretty happy to see Spin Dash. I'm not really sure where I'm going to get to use it first, though.
Yeah, Spin Dash is required for the Mountain Temple. Mount Crest is also required for Anchor Wat. It's required to access the boss at the end of the Great Wall. There's a lot of nice uses. And also, it's stylish. I mean, he spins around. It's a great time.
Alright, so I've done all I can really do in here. I'm going to head back out. We're going to see where this takes me. Well, that's a place. Okay. Should write that down too.
Yep.
Euro.
Yeah, it's good to know. This seed is pretty open pretty early. So it's good news as far as being able to access lots of places and have lots of options. It's also makes it so that Solar has to keep really good notes so that he doesn't forget one of these important important locations he's gonna have to check later. So Euro has a lot of exits. One of the exits is one of those one-way exits, so he's probably going to be saving that one for last. If you enter into the store in the vanilla game, there's no way to exit the store from that same entrance, and so that's an exit that's gonna just dump him somewhere, and he's not going to be able to get back. So I imagine he's probably going to be checking all of these exits before he goes there.
So one of the game modes, I don't know if you mentioned this or not, that I'm playing in is Chaos Mode, which brings kind of 2 things with it. One is that Freedan ability moves can spawn in dark spaces in towns. In the other game modes, that can't happen, but in this game mode, in Chaos Mode, it can. So there's a good showcase of that.
What a good Freedan move that is.
Yeah, so I don't need to check any more Freedan moves in dark spaces. I'm going to start top down.
And we get the benefit of seeing beefy Freedan running through a town, which is something that you don't normally get.
Yeah. Another kind of a side effect of being in Chaos Mode, hey, it's Grandma Lola, what's up? I'm Freedan. Is that some dungeons might actually be locked out depending on item placement.
Right, so there's the completable mode, which will guarantee you access to every item in the game. There's a beatable mode where you could be locked out from certain locations based off of where abilities are placed. There are certain dark spaces that have to be left open so that you can change forms. There are 3 forms you can play as in the game. You're seeing Freedan right now. You saw Will earlier, and we talked about Shadow. And then each of them have different things that they can unlock. Ooh, Snake Game in 10 seconds. That's nice. Snake Game can be between 10 and 60 seconds depending on the seed. Get your guesses in now. Hurry up, because it's already over.
Open door. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Are there feed doors in this game?
They're all
and we're
feed
in
doors.
Dow. Oh, the chaos of entrance shuffle.
I'll be back now.
Anyway, so in beatable mode or in chaos mode, if one of those dark spaces has an ability in it, that means that you can't use that dark space to change forms later on. And so in logic, it considers that to be locked out. And so that's how you can get some unbeatable seeds in beatable, and also you can have like locations. You can have certain items that are in locations that unlock themselves. You know, like for instance, you know, like you need the Gorgon flower in order to get the item from the statue ladies, and you know, so they can have the Gorgon flower in beatable, and also in chaos it's the same thing, except now free dance shows up in towns, which we get to see right now. Okay, so have you found the school yet? Do we know what statues we're working with?
We do not. So there's two ways to kind of figure out what statues you need. You could find the teacher. The teacher in the randomizer tells you what statues you need, or you try to throw away certain items, and if you can throw them away, then you know you don't need that statue. But I'm going to try not to throw anything away right now. Not really sure what I'm going to... Well, okay, let's figure it out. Interesting. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 4, and 5. Which means I have to fight
so
Cast-Off, Viper, Sandfanger, and Mummy Queen.
Alright, so that gives us an idea of the items that he's going to need for Go mode for this game. For fighting Cast-Off, he needs to fight to the end of the Inca ruins, so he's going to need the diamond block, he's going to need both Inca statues, he's going to need the wind melody. And those are all the items that, and he needs a will move, which he already has. He has spin dash, and he needs to find Inca ruins. I don't think he's found that yet.
No.
For 2, he already found Sky Garden, so that's the second. That's where Viper is. That's the second boss. He needs 4 crystal balls. I know he's gotten at least 1 somewhere. It's not showing up on your tracker for some reason. But
all right. Moment of truth. It just updated. It seems.
Okay.
Oh. All
right.
You beautiful,
so
beautiful Bagu.
Oh, that's right. I didn't think about this being a Samlet seed. Okay, so we mentioned earlier that one of the requirements to beat the randomizer is to find Kara and to free her using the magic dust from her painting. And that painting can show up at the end of 5 minor dungeons. And so Lance's letter spoils where she is, and she's at the end of Diamond Mine, which means he's going to need the elevator key to get to that back area. He's going to need both mine keys, and we're going to get to see one of our favorite characters in.
As we just had Z point out in chat, I didn't think about this till now, but yes, that means the Killer 6 is required. So I must ask again, Bagu, what have you done to me?
Oh, I have nothing but love for you, brother. Nothing but love.
Alright, final exit to check in South Cape, see where this takes us. And then we might actually look at the world map, see what we have access to. Okay.
Alright, Statue 4 is... Oh, Frisia has a boatload of exits, and so that's good to see, and that's also potentially a new continent for him to check out. And he found the laborer, so he was able to snitch him out. Yes, he's a bad person. Okay, so alright, so we talked about statues 1 and 2. Statue 4 is at the end of Great Wall. That's actually one of the easier bosses to get to. He just needs Friar and Spin Dash, which he already has. So once he finds a Great Wall, he can finish Great Wall completely and get that Mystic Statue. And Mystic Statue 5 that he also needs is the Mummy Queen at the end of the pyramid. He's going to need all 6 hieroglyphs, and he's going to need the Father's Journal, and he's going to need the Aura, and he's going to need to find the pyramid. So that's it. He just needs to find all those things, and the game is over. I mean, easy peasy, right? Shouldn't take us any time at all.
Oh, that's dirty. I haven't seen that before. see what's up here.
It's not that dirty.
What's up, man?
This is a back alley that you can only get to by a couple exits, and so that's one of the interesting places you can go.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised I haven't checked the overworld map yet to know what dungeons I have access to. Whoop.
Well, speaking of dungeons, here is Inca Ruins, which is one of the required dungeons.
I got access to one check right now. I don't have the diamond block, so I can't go too far into this dungeon, but I will see what this item is. Not too much of a time waste. Plus, I have a 2.5-hour time slot to fill.
Exactly. Maybe you should be walking instead of running.
I don't know if I can handle that.
Only in Water Mia. We'll wait for Water Mia to get your walk on.
Yeah, sure.
There's a global timer in Water Mia that for this lily pad that you need to kill some time on. Alright, so we know where Inca is, we know where Sky Garden is. We're still looking for Great Wall, but we know that that is an overworld dungeon, and so he has access to a lot of different places to check to see if he has access to that as the overworld. Oh, and here's the map. It's lovely. And Pyramid is also an overworld dungeon. And so once we get access to the whole overworld, we'll have access to all the dungeons we need. Diamond Mine is also required because that's where Kara is, and that's also an overworld dungeon. So at any point now, Solar is going to be going to the overworld to check out what he can see at any minute now, any time, really literally any time. He could go to any of the overworlds that he has access to, literally any time.
Wow, I feel like you're trying to get a point across to me, Baguio.
Oh no, I am just an impartial observer. I'm not influencing the way this run goes at all. By the way, he's going into the back end of the underground tunnel, which is in Edward's prison. Fun fact: the earliest version of the randomizer, this used to be open. You can come back here and get that item, and so that's kind of a entrance randomizer kind of brings back that opportunity. So makes me a little verklempt, gives me a little nostalgia for the early days of the rando, which is coming on 2 years now since this whole crazy project started.
All right, well, we have Bagu's favorite dungeon.
Angkor Wat is my favorite dungeon. I call it the Typo Temple.
But I'm going to decide not to check out any of those yet. I want to see what South Cape has access to on the world map. Since I have Spin Dash and I have Dark Friar, I wouldn't mind looking at Great Wall just because I can complete that and get some upgrades after I beat Sandfanger.
You want me to talk about upgrades?
Sure, talk about upgrades.
Let's talk about upgrades. All right, so in the vanilla game, every time you clear a room of enemies, you get an upgrade, either a health upgrade, a strength upgrade, or a defense upgrade.
You know what? Let's do that.
Because it's such a linear game, they can get away with they give you a lot of upgrades throughout the game. We had to scale that back a bit in the randomizer to make it more open world compatible. So there are only some rooms that have upgrades. So like if you hit the start menu, then you would see either there's a little pulsing force in a room or not. If there's a pulsing force, then that tells you that there's an upgrade available if you choose to clear those enemies out. And you can see for this room that there is a force upgrade. So if he wanted to clear out all 24 of these enemies, which I'm sure he will be doing, Kappa, then he can get this upgrade early. Now, if he doesn't clear it out, that doesn't mean that he's never going to get that upgrade, because what happens in this game is that if you beat one of the bosses, then you get caught up on all of the upgrades that you missed. And so in the randomizer, each boss is over 1 or 2 dungeons, and beating that boss automatically gains you all of the updates that you didn't clear from those rooms from that dungeon. And that's a vanilla feature. That's what speedrunners do. They skip all the rooms and just wait to get caught up from the bosses. Now in the randomizer, it ends up being kind of interesting because usually you don't get to beat bosses until very late in the game, and so using these speedrunner tactics of skipping these rooms. The large roast is a nice travel item. It allows him to move from Native's Village to Dao. And so that means that you're at pretty low stats for the bulk of the game if you choose to skip those room upgrades. So all that to be said, since Great Wall is such a low requirement dungeon to get to the very end of, usually, we want to see that, and we want to be able to beat a Sandfinger sooner in the game so that we can get those sweet upgrades.
All right, one final check in here, and then I'm gonna death warp out.
Yeah, so he needs mushroom drops in order to get to the very end of this temple. There are 5 checks in here. There are 3 dark spaces to check. He's still looking for that slider. So that's, but all the other abilities aren't really useful to him right now. Psycho Dash, anything you can do with Psycho Dash, you can do with either slider or spin. So that's not really necessary. Friar is the most important freedan ability by far. If you know some speedrunner tricks, you can get through all of the freedan checks with Friar alone. There is a use for Aura Barrier in the randomizer, but if you have Friar, then it's useless. Earthquaker, there's one part of the game where it's necessary, quote unquote, but speedrunners have a trick where they can just use Dark Friar and get past that check as well. So I think Solar is already noped out on getting an ability from a freedan dark space because he doesn't need him.
Yeah. All right, Continent, what you got for me?
All right, so Edwards gives him access to all of these places. All of these places. Just the one place.
Check out natives. You got that leg of yak, so that actually kind of works out really well for me.
Mm-hmm. So he can go to Dao, which he's already been to. But he has a couple exits to check here.
And already forgot the other way to get there, so yay for having the roast leg.
Indeed. The roast leg is one of those items that we reskinned for this game. In the vanilla game, it's what helps you survive on the raft, which, by the way, is not included in the randomizer. You're welcome, universe. There is no raft sequence with Kara anymore. So that means that we needed a new use for the yak, and we decided to have that be one of our travel, intercontinental travel items. Where if you give the leg of yak to the starving boys here, then they offer to guide you to Dao. And now we're checking Dao's continent. This is one of the 5 location continents, which is nice. We've already had access to Euro. We've had access. Oh wait, Inca is not a thing. But there's Diamond Mine. We need Diamond Mine for this seed because that's where Kara is.
So that's interesting. That lets me know that there's 5 locations on the 5th and final continent. That's where my Great Wall is too.
Yeah, by process of elimination. Alright, prison key, that's nice. He has an exit he can try there.
Now, I wonder if I wrote that down. Don't think I did. Alright, so that's where I came out from Euro.
Have you checked Euro's overworld yet?
It's this one.
Oh wait, you have. It's this one, you're right. Euro and Dao are together.
Oh, special time to talk about this. welcome to the map room, everybody. In case you ever get lost and trying to figure out what you need from a place, simply run over to a location. You'll see how many items you've collected out of the possible items and how many dark spaces there are. Very useful feature.
This normally shows up in South Cape, in the the eastmost house, the one next to Will's house. If you go into that house, where the guy is normally cooking from his pot, you'll enter that room instead. A few other things to help newcomers to the randomizer is if you talk to the NPC in front of the school, that NPC will give you an in-game guide to kind of help teach you some of the things that are different about the randomizer. It tells you what the travel items, what they do, the ones that are different from the vanilla game. So it kind of helps you know when you've unlocked new progression, things like that. And so yeah.
Alright, so we're going to check Moon Tribe, then we're going to head over to Diamond Mine. I do have some dark spaces I can check in there. Hopefully we'll find Slider in there.
He can also, this is another one-way exit that he can unlock with,
with
the teapot if he wants to. But again, I'm just an impartial observer. I'm not affecting how this run is going at all.
Nah. Definitely a one-way exit.
Interest randomizer, we get some interesting visual glitches. Euro is one of the worst offenders in this game. There's a whole other tile set that gets loaded, and it assumes that you've just come from the main part of Euro, and it relies on that loading in order to load some of the things. Have we found the shrine yet? The shrine is my favorite place.
I don't believe so, no.
Yeah, if you don't enter the shrine from Euro itself, then you get some pretty funky looking stuff, so that's fun. Alright, for those that are keeping track at home, so I think we have found... Have we found the pyramid? We haven't found the pyramid yet. Is that on?
It's looking like Diamond Coast is going to be my access, so I'm either going to have to find the Lola's letter, or I'm going to have to beat Cast Off. Or there's some other place on there I'm not thinking of. Because it's looking like it's going to have Diamond Coast, Pyramid, Great Wall. I can't think of the other two right now.
I think we haven't seen... Have we seen Neil's?
We've seen Neil's, yeah.
Oh, probably Nazca Plain. I don't think we've seen that.
No, we've seen Nazca.
Okay, well, never mind. This is why it's important to take notes, folks. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you're playing an entrance randomizer and you don't know where you're going, please make sure to take good notes. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Alright, so the only dungeon that we know we need to find that we haven't found yet is Pyramid. As Solar has mentioned, by process of elimination, we know that it's on the same continent as the Diamond Coast. Diamond Coast is one of those locations that you can access by having access to Lola's letter. And so we're going to add that to our list of required items to get to that continent. But we know where Inca is. We need 4 items to be able to beat that, and I don't think we found any of them. So, as a thing, we need to find 4 crystal balls. I think we have 1. Yeah, we have 1 of the 4. So we need 3 of those. Great Wall we can finish as soon as we find it. That's going to be on that last continent there. And the Pyramid, we're going to need 5 more hieroglyphs, and we already have Father's Journal. So, and we're going to need the Aura as well. You have Magic Dust, which is nice. To get to the end of this one, we're going to need the elevator key and 2 mine keys, and that gives us access to Kara. So in chat, give us your favorite pronunciation of that character's name. Kara? Is it Kara? Is it Kura? Is it Chera? Is it just put your favorite pronunciation?
You know, that's a dirty trick question. We all know Kara is the correct pronunciation.
Well, there you have it. Strong opinions from our runner, solarcell007. You can find him at twitch/solarcell007, where you can submit your tasteful comments about his strong opinions.
Well, I would be remiss if I also didn't plug Bagoo's stream at twitch.tv/don'tbagoome.
Oh yes, I stream all the time. I enjoy streaming, but most of the time I'm working on this game. It's ironic because I made this game because I wanted to play it. I thought it's like, oh, I wish there was a randomizer for Illusion of Gaia. It's one of my favorite games growing up.
Don't break my heart.
I couldn't if I tried.
Oh.
Oh, honey, if I get restless. And Psycho Slider.
Nice.
So we won't be checking dark spaces anymore because Solar's a pro and he doesn't need any of the other.
Ooh.
That's good to know because there are some dark spaces that are kind of out of the way, and so we can skip parts of some dungeons, which is lovely.
Huh.
All right, where are
Let's
we
go
going,
back.
buddy?
I'm gonna go back to Continent 2. Want to head over to Frisia.
I saw that too, Z. But again, I'm just an impartial observer. I'm not here to assist our runner in any way. I'm just here to provide sultry stylings and color commentary.
I'm more hurt that it's being assumed that I don't know what I'm doing, Z. How do I get to Frisia? Southwest. So you got anything else for me?
I mean, we're all just following the, what we're seeing with our eye. Is all I'm.
Me, I deserve lucky. Wow. The attacks. Mansion, you were over here.
Mansion time. So the mansion is the optional dungeon in the vanilla game. It's if you collect all 50 red jewels, then you get sent to this place. So the enemies here are rather beefy. You need Slider in order to complete this dungeon. But the way it works in the randomizer is that if statue 6 is required,
Ooh, I didn't even see him on the list.
You can get to it. Yeah. Oop. Yep. So it's one hit KO for Solar going in this early. But there is an item here that he can check. I don't think he'll be completing this dungeon because he doesn't need statue 6.
No.
We're not even going to show off the new strats that have been found. And we do have 2.5 hours to build. Just saying. Anyway, so statue 6 is at the top of Battle Tower. You can get there by doing a very long and involved boss rush where you fight through the 5 major bosses of the game and then get to the top and collect your prize. You can also get to the top of there by defeating the optional boss here, Solid Arm, and he'll take you up there as well. It's generally faster. It's also more risky because of the damage, and also you don't get the catch-up upgrades that you would get from completing Babel. So that's kind of an interesting trade-off in the randomizer here. Ooh, looks like he's gonna go for it.
Well, you're calling me out, my gosh. What do you expect me to do?
I'm not doing anything. I am just an impartial observer, and I am not influencing at all the way that this run is happening. All right, so here comes a boss that we all loved as a kid, and that we all struggled with, and it's going to be less of a struggle today. Oh, this is such a cool setup. Do you remember? Let's see. I wish I could remember who found this setup.
Yeah, I can't really remember. The name's not really popular. I don't know.
It's I mean, I'm seeing, I don't know, maybe it starts with a P or something.
You're such a monster.
Anyway, so there goes Solid Arm.
Shoutouts to Mr. Freet for finding that buffer strat.
Mr. Freet, that's what it was. Mr. Freet, the long-time established speedrunner, Mr. Freet, found that lovely trick that allows us to. Oh, you're even gonna go grab the.
Well, I gotta show that you can get the statue this way.
Oh, I mean, or you can just take my word for it as the creator of the game.
Killing me.
Gosh. Well, this is fun. Yeah, so you can kill that boss easily. There's a pixel perfect exposition that you can stand on, that where you're invulnerable to his attacks. You can just wail on him. So that's, you know, take that childhood self, who struggled with that boss ad infinitum. Free Jazz Dark Friar, we already knew that. So thanks for nothing, lady. But yes, Mr. Freet. Shoutouts from myself to Mr. Freet. He's gone into the lab in this game and has uncovered all kinds of fun strats for speedrunning this game.
I wish I had Great Wall. I really do.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Alright, Nazca, where are you taking me? So I can complete Anchor Watt. I can also go to Watermere right now. I'm probably gonna actually okay. Complete Anchor Watt first. It's interesting. Usually for non-entrance rando seeds, you like to, at least I do, I like to get everything I can in a town as free items, and then go to dungeons, complete them. But for entrance seeds, I tend to like to do the dungeons first, just because I don't know if I can actually beat them or not. I won't get sidetracked checking a bunch of different exits. Ooh. Shoutouts to Bagoo for getting this strat so I don't have to die. Wall bugs are quite the pain. Alright, so this is another dungeon where it's going to maybe be one-hit KO? Not really sure. Hopefully we don't find out. So Bagoo, did you talk about the different types of entrance rando? Uh-oh.
Hello, are we back?
Then we're back.
I'm sorry about that. I just noticed that I was seeing you talk on your stream and I couldn't hear you.
Likewise. I was checking you in Discord. Okay, so there are a couple different entrance random modes. I mean, we're doing Overworld Shuffle and we've got this, but there's also Uncoupled.
Oh goodness.
That's in the works or is working right now. What's
It's working and it's cancer.
Okay. And we also have what's in the works is Dungeon Shuffle.
Oh yes, yeah, being able to shuffle dungeons internally. You know, think like Zelda 1 Randomizer, where the dungeons all have the rooms shuffled in between itself. That may or may not become a thing. I'm hoping that it becomes a. Seriously, anybody want to come along and code that for me? I would be much obliged.
All right, let's see how many times I die here trying to. Let's go ahead and save just in case. I dare not reset my console.
Kind.
Oh,
Flies
they're
be kind.
flies. What's the worst they could do? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're tempting fate here by calling them out, Solar. They're coming after you. You can see them. They're more aggressive, it looks like, than they normally are.
I brought this on myself.
Boink.
Oh, you took my shortcut. What a jerk. Oh. So yeah, these flies, as you can see, move very erratically.
This is my favorite place to start in Unsafe Start, by the way. You can start in this dark space and fight your way out. And that's fun with beginning game stats.
Did we talk about speed ups? I know we haven't.
We didn't talk about speed ups.
Why don't you go ahead
that's kind of a
and let
newer
us know
feature,
what's new with that, Dago?
Oh gosh, I had a list somewhere, but oh wow, we'll be here for a while. Okay,
2.5 hours to fill.
Yeah, see, this is all for the entertainment of the people. Thank you all, by the way, for watching the lovely SpeedGaming Twitch site.
I bet Neo's laughing in French so hard right now.
No. That's how French people laugh, correct? N'est-ce pas?
I am solarcell007, and I do not endorse the thoughts of Don't Bagoo Me.
Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu.
What was I talking about? Speed ups.
Speed ups.
Les speed ups. GG getting through the garden. Okay, so we added some quality of life changes to the game. The first speed up that we actually ever did was speeding up the line in Euro. In the vanilla game, that is a process. That is a process indeed. It takes 2.5 minutes, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was, I think that alone was powerful enough to make the historic 100% category of this game allows you to skip that check, because no one wanted to stand in line for 2.5 hours in the speed run. So we have a category now, by the way, that is a true 100% where you do stand in line. So those of you that love standing in line, head on over to what is it, speedrun.com/IOG, and submit your time for the true 100% category, and then you too can stand in line for 2.5 minutes.
What's the alternate name for 100%? I forget what that is.
I wish. Who is the guy? I don't remember. The name escapes me. It starts with a Q, maybe.
Oh
I don't know.
You were just hopeless.
It'll come to me.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's been sped up. We did the snake game earlier. That has a random time between 10 and 60 seconds. 60 seconds in the vanilla game. I considered making that like up to 5 minutes long, but I decided not to do that. I can be merciful at times. That check is not merciful. There are 2 nothing items in the game, by the way. Those are carryovers from. There are 2 empty chests in the Dungeon of Mew. So you could find the nothing items.
Use that either.
Mew is a dungeon that is not tied to the overworld, so that can show up in any house, any cave. We don't know where that is. But lately, we've been speeding up a lot more things. We have a tournament coming up in January. And so in preparation for that, we wanted to tighten up some of those long cutscenes. There's a cutscene in Mew where you place the Hope statues. That's been sped up. The warp sequence to the prison has been sped up. There are 3 sequences in Babel that have been sped up. What else? The elevators, the room 3 elevator in the pyramid, the elevator in the mine. Those are comical to watch. Those go rather fast. So just some things to keep it more fast-paced and to shave off some of the waiting. We also sped up the raft sequence by not having one.
Pretty happy to see Lola's letter there.
Yes, that's our access to. We have access to Water Mia, correct?
We do, yes.
Yeah, so that's, and there's the necklace, which is also very nice. We knew Kara wasn't there.
I know, force a habit.
Angkor Wat is one of the minor dungeons that can have Kara at the end of it, and that's where she would be if she was there. But we know she's at the end of Diamond Mine. Anyway, so now it looks like we have access, because we have Lola's letter, we have access to every overworld location, every continent.
I don't know if I want to leave or if I want to... I stopped right there because I don't know if I want to go...
Yeah, the source of Solar's dilemma right now is that Angkor Wat is one of the few dungeons, I think maybe the only dungeon, that has internal checkpoints.
No. Inca can get you if you go too far.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that last room there, after the gold tile room, is another checkpoint. You're right. I forgot about that one. That one's fun.
That one's a jerk.
Anyway, so speedrunners like to abuse death warp systems in this game. You know, death warping warps you normally to the beginning of a dungeon, and that's usually the fastest way to get out. However, in Angkor Wat, entering the garden and then entering that long outdoor area sets checkpoints so that if you expire when you get past those areas, you don't go to the beginning of the dungeon, you go to those places. And so you can't death warp out of Angkor Wat. In the vanilla game, you have to go all the way back through, which takes a long time. In the randomizer, though, anytime you can get to a dark space, you can warp back to your starting location. And so usually that's faster to find a dark space in Angkor Wat and then just go back to start. Let's mosey on over here, get a little Ram statue.
Walking as promised.
We're gonna mosey on back over here. Here we go. We're just gonna wait nice and relaxed for this lily pad to come in. There it is.
Not really sure how Jenkins Gaming feels about the game. I'm getting mixed signals.
Sorry, that gets me.
French vanilla, dark space, okay. So actually, yeah, so Baggy was kind enough to use NPCs that are located in the game. So this guy will take me to Diamond Coast or Eric in South Cape because I have the Lola's letter. All interchangeable. If I had the will, I could talk to this guy and he would take me over to Euro.
Yes. Yes, in the vanilla game, the passage between Watermia and Euro is unlocked by the will, because you get access to Crux, which are kind of like camels, which also exist in this universe, so I never understood why you had to have a Crux when you could just use a camel. But, I don't know. No one ever asked for my opinion on things.
French vanilla.
So I have to use forums like this to air my unpopular opinions.
Wow. These hints, I tell you.
Yep. Super useful. There's at least one useful hint in there.
Yeah, super useful.
I don't know. I wish we could get in contact with the developer of this game. Maybe they can make these hints a little bit, more useful.
I mean, I wasn't being sarcastic. Oh, so that's where that exit is. Okay.
Okay, so that's not useful. We've been there already. But now we can access our final continent by going to the Diamond Coast. And that gives us access to Great Wall, and to the Pyramid, and to all kinds of lovely places.
Well, that's kind of circular right there, isn't it?
Ooh. You're kind of circular.
Oh. Got him.
It's alright. I got back at you by giving you mushroom drops.
Alright.
We don't like to see mushroom drops because that means we have to go to... I don't want to go to the bad place.
The bad place is Crest. Oh, Crest. Vanilla game, you have so many upgrades. It's a walk in the park. An Angel Village. All right.
In
Let's
Randomizer, it is less a walk in the park. It's like a walk in Jurassic Park. You know, because of the difficulty, not because of the dinosaur.
Oh, okay. Alright, so this should be a two-hit KO.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. We're having fun.
It's 4 in the morning. All right, give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Copyrights. Oh my gosh, how do you miss that? How do you miss that? Ooh. Kill me. So yeah, I'm death warping here because we have spin dash. Be a little faster to walk through this room, or spin through. Wait a little bit, and then I'm gonna go. Hopefully I time that right. We did. Missed the spears.
Sliver, yes. There's no longer a Hamlet cutscene. Is it after Mount Crest, or is it after? It is after Mount Crest. You're right. I was thinking it was after Angkor Wat. We do have a little bit of a shout out to it in the credits, but you're right. Hamlet does get to live in the randomizer. I mean, as far as we know.
Actually,
we see him once.
Question for you. That involves your knowledge of the game.
Ooh.
With how you programmed it. With the
see if I
warps that have been discovered in this game.
Yes.
I suppose... Never mind. You would just warp to the flag that you already have it set as. And that wouldn't... There would be no way to warp to the Hamlet cutscene is what I'm getting at.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been free association with solarcell007, where what he says makes absolutely no sense.
Alright.
Nonetheless.
Alright.
What SolarCell is referring to there, by the way, the new warp mechanics found in the game. So this is a game that was released in North America in 1994, I believe. And so in 25 years of playing the game and in speedrunning the game, it was thought that Illusion of Gaia was one of those games that just couldn't be broken in major ways. You know, it's just like a normal playthrough of the game. You could optimize some strats here and there. You could skip some abilities, but you're pretty much going to be playing the whole game. Well, maybe a couple months ago, that kind of got broken wide open when, let's see, shout outs to Herosoft, who was playing the randomizer and was in one particular room in Mount Crest, attempted to use Aura Barrier and ended up warping to a different location in the game. Now, this caused a bit of a stir in the community as some folks, I wish I could remember who was the one that was really spearheading the effort to kind of catalog how the warp is going to work. I wish I could remember his name. Anyway,
didn't they like put a lot of work and effort into it?
Something like that. I think there's like a Google document somewhere that shows how you can warp to absolutely any map in the game. It's actually these two people in the community. Let's see, one of them, I don't remember his name, but I know he was bald. That's all I remember about it.
Must have been handsome. That's all I can say.
That doesn't sound right. Definitely bald. I don't know. It'll come to me later. But anyway, so now we know how to, from that room, based on your X position, or based on the position of your sprite in the game, you can use Aura Barrier, which was kind of a meme ability as for being the most useless thing you get in the game, has now become the key that has unlocked this mechanic that allows you to warp to absolutely any map you want, and that has shaved what, 40 minutes off of the any percent time?
Yep.
In this game. Yep. So, exciting time to be alive. At least, exciting time to be alive if you're an Illusion of Gaia fan. So Solar is fighting Sandfinger and is attempting to get Statue 4. We'll see if he pulls it off. I don't know. I'm not holding my breath personally, but we'll see how this fight goes. By the way, get your guesses in chat for how many eggs we see. We saw an egg cycle just recently. We want to see lots of those because you can see how many hits that allows him to wail on. We want to see what's ideal? 4? Is it 4 or 5? That is. The
5 would be a perfect fight if I didn't miss any hits. That's not good. Where'd you go?
All right, so this is one of the required statues. Oh boy, oh boy. GG.
Thank you, thank you.
What was that? Like pie eggs?
Yeah, I will call it 3. I had a missed hit earlier in the fight. I shouldn't have had to hit that one.
I don't know. I think I'm calling that pie.
I'll give you your pie
eggs.
fight. I'll give that to you. Let's go here.
All right, so there's one down, 3 to go. So all we got to do is get 3 more of those mystic statues, free Kara from her painting, and we good.
So,
oh, look at that. Okay.
Because I have the
Go
black
ahead, sir.
glasses, it's kind of a bonus item. Its ability not only lets me see into Angkor Wat, that bright room, without getting blinded, but it also gives me a little more usability with the start screen. So that force that was popping up in the top left of my start screen, actually you get told what upgrade you're about to get. So right there I knew I was getting 3 HP for killing both of those orbs.
Yeah, there are some items in the game that vary in their usefulness. Black glasses is one of those. It allows you to get through one room that we've already seen in Angkor Wat. Usually it's bright white if you don't have the glasses. But if you know the game well enough, you can navigate that room, much like the dark rooms in Link to the Past. You know, so the black glasses are not really required. So we kind of gave them an additional functionality there to make them a little bit less of a meme item. Also, welcome in, Queen. Good to see you.
Alright. So, I got progression somewhere. I need a double dip somewhere. I'm not really... Oop, wait, no. That's not where I want to be. Ah, okay. So I'm going to be off to find that. Right now we're going to go back to Skyguard. I'm going to drop off a crystal ball. My inventory is getting a little full. Speaking of inventory getting full, you might see the tracker's only saying 1 herb, and yet I have 7. This is a weird little mechanic that's in the game. Is this new, Bagu?
This is brand new. This is not even in the production version. Yeah, so stacking herbs is a new mechanic that we're toying with. Inventory management is a thing in this game. Even in the vanilla game, I remember as a kid gathering everything and having my inventory be pretty clogged if you're a hoarder of herbs or a order of herbs. I don't know. Anyway, if you're hoarding your herbs, then your inventory gets really full. You get these 16 slots. We've toyed with the idea of, you know, can we get more inventory slots? Can we do all that? But that's just so much work, and I can't be bothered. So what we've done instead is we're introducing this idea of stacking herbs, where your herbs will only take up 1 space in inventory, and you can just use them from that 1 space. So it's turning out nice so far, I think. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's very much appreciated. Especially when jerk people give you a seed they vetted. That has a crystal ball on color 6.
Yep. Yeah, that's the worst. It's the absolute worst.
Now what I need to remember here is that the dark space in the northwest corner, which is the other room that I haven't finished yet in this dungeon, had a will move. So I'm not going to be able to transform into Friedan there. So I'm actually going to backtrack.
Alright, so we've already been here in Sky Garden, but we're having to come back because now we have Dark Friar, so that gives us 3 more checks that we weren't able to get to before. Due to the nature of this game, there's a lot of double dipping in the rando. Just
We
be,
gotta keep
yeah,
That's fine.
yeah, just.
We'll get him from room 3. Sorry, please go on.
Oh, I don't remember what I was saying. I was talking about double dipping. Almost every item in this game has the potential of offering some kind of progression. Even the red jewels, of which there are 50 if you play in the normal mode, the jeweler rewards have been randomized and their amounts have been randomized. So that means that even red jewels can unlock new items for you. The only truly junk items, there are 12 herbs in the game. There are 6 status upgrades, and I think that's it. Everything else offers some kind of progression out of 112 items or so. And so that means that there's a lot of going into dungeons and getting the items you can, and then you're gonna have to come back and rare is the IOGR seed, where you can finish every dungeon you come to the first time you go in. But I guess that's how it is for any run. Alright, so we have 2 items to check over here. Are you going to show off the text buffer strat here?
I'm gonna try. Try not to die.
Yeah. This is a new strategy that was discovered by... who was that? Who was that guy that... Oh, wait. Hold on. This was actually discovered by the Hulk, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got no problem saying the Hulk there.
Yeah, shoutouts to the Hulk, who needs no introduction.
Yeah, Hulk's been working on a task for this game. He's been finding a lot of neat little tricks that we've seen at the beginning of the game.
Sweet.
So that right there, I don't have to wait for that sword, and I don't have to damage boost with it or pull the statue or anything.
So impatient. Can't just do it. You can't just do it the way that they intended. You just gotta be all fancy with it. That's fine. Okay. Oh, that's right. We can go to Sea Palace now because we unlocked the teapot. And here's a place we haven't been before.
Oi. Seaside. Trance.
Did you ever go pick up Lily?
No. As you see, Will just standing there, but it's okay. I don't need Lily. We came in through the backside of the dungeon, so I'm completely clearing this dungeon by doing this right now.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Totally planned, Bagu.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I know.
Okay,
I
so
still
in the
need
vanilla
the
game,
seaside too.
in the vanilla game, there's an NPC, Lily, who can turn into a flower, and there's a couple parts of the game where she takes a ride in your pocket, and she helps you out a couple times. One is to get through this dungeon. There's a place where you need to hit 2 switches at the same time, and so she can fly over to the other one and help you get through. Oh, guard dash, please. And
Oh my gosh.
there's another time where she can get inside of a coffin and help you get an item from there. So in the game, the way we've done it is if you find her necklace, which she's very concerned about losing as a gift to her from Lance, then she will accompany you and will help you get through those gems. But as Solar said, we've already seen the back of this dungeon, so the one item that gets unlocked by doing that is already acquired. Ooh, the Melodio de Memory, Leo. Please, someone kill me. There we go.
Alright. More of this dungeon.
So this is the Seaside Palace, which isn't really a dungeon, even though it has enemies in it. That reminds me, I should probably set checkpoints at each of these entrances so that if you die, you don't get sent to a random place. Add that to my to-do list. Anyway, it kind of has 2 main parts. And it looks like in this seed, they're linked together very nicely. So that's kind of nice.
What's up, Ishtar? I did your puzzle.
Hip. Hip. And a hieroglyph. That's good. We need those.
Yes, yes. Alright, no purification stone, but I don't have that checked yet anyway. Where are you taking me? Dark space.
Alright, so let's do an item check. How are we looking? We need statues 1, 2, 4, and 5. We have 4 already. For statue 5, we need 4 more hieroglyphs. For statue 1, we need both Inca statues. We have the wind melody, so that's nice, but we also need the diamond block. Statue 2, we need 3 more crystal balls. And to get to Kara, who's at the end of Diamond Mine, we need both mine keys. We already have the elevator key. And that's it. We already have the magic dust. So those are our items that we're looking for go mode.
Just a couple more checks here, and then we're actually gonna, I guess, warp back to South Cape. Whoa, wait.
Oh, we need to find the aura too. We haven't found the aura yet, have we?
We have not. Oh no. Owie. Well, that's convenient.
Oh, so it is. Here's one of the speed ups that we were talking about earlier.
Dunk!
Thwack.
Back to Buffy.
Okay, so what that does is that turns all the enemies in Seaside Palace into people, and one of these people can give you an item, so it's very convenient that the purification fountain was so close, and that the purification stone was found in this place. Very lovely. Thanks, Solar. There you go. Yeah.
I think Alad has a
There
very
you go.
interesting question for you.
Alright, so yeah, how did you make this randomizer? And to reverse engineer the code from binary data, I'm so glad you asked, because this allows me to give a shout out to Manafreak, who is amazing and who has developed a ROM hacking tool for this game in particular called Gaia the Creator. I don't know if I can. I don't think I can put links in chat, but I'm going to put GaiaTheCreator.blogspot.com if you want to go and check out his work. Diamond block, we need that. That's very lovely. Anyway, and so this project would not have gotten off the ground if I had not come across this tool, because I had never done any kind of game hacking, any kind of game programming, nothing like it. I just had this idea where it's like, I like randomizers, I like Illusion of Gaia, I want a randomizer for Illusion of Gaia. I have no idea how to do that. I have a degree in computer science, but I haven't really used it a lot in my career. I've used it some. So it was a very steep learning curve for me, and I came across this tool, and Manafreak was kind enough to give me access to all of his notes in creating that tool, and so I got to know the inner workings of the game. It really helped me. Also, with individuals like Raven Zero, who is a master at assembly code and also a fan of this game, and also has helped Manafreak greatly with his efforts in helping catalog, how this game in particular works. We've been able to do a lot of custom stuff with the hacking of the game, and so we haven't talked about Apocalypse Gaia yet. This is a good time to bring it up since we're talking about Raven Zero. In poking around in the game, Raven Zero discovered an unused version of the final boss of the game, hidden in the code. And so with a little bit of tweaking here and there and a little bit of creative license in order to get the sprites to show up the way they want, and with a lot of playtesting from the community, we have made that final boss, who we've named Apocalypse Gaia, available to players of the randomizer. So you can choose Apocalypse Gaia as the final boss for the game if you want to see what the developers originally had in mind for that final boss. And you'll get to see it at the end of this run today, and it is something. I'm a big fan of that fight. I think it's really cool. Anyway, so with Mana Freak's knowledge of the game, and with Raven's knowledge of the game, and just with general knowledge of the assembly language of SNES, a lot of work has been put into, discovering how this game works, and that allows us to have a lot of flexibility as far as, the changes that we had to make this randomized and make it an open world game. Yeah, so that's kind of how we did it. If you were to make a randomizer for a game, you would need knowledge of how that game works, in particular, and you would also need, knowledge of whatever. You actually guard dashed there.
Oh, I knew you would yell at me if I didn't.
I mean, you were fast enough that it wasn't necessary, so, but still, it made my heart swell. I appreciate it. It's the little things in life that
I give anything
you really
for you.
enjoy.
You've given us so much. Anything for you. Okay. And then and then whatever language you would choose in order to actually do the randomization, to do the logic checks, whatever game you're working on, it's going to have some kind of, you need some kind of logic, some kind of structure to represent the game and the locations and all of that. You got to know where in ROM to input certain stuff and all that. So it's been a great I've had a blast with this project and learning about game coding and how the SNES code works. It's actually made me interested in developing more randomizers. So I've been looking into making a randomizer for the SNES game Pilot Wings. There's all kinds of stuff I can do now, and it's so much fun. That was a cool strat. Thought of it on the fly right there. I was like, I wonder if this will work, if I can activate that coming down that ramp. Alright, so in my mind, I can still check memory melody spots.
Yes. Right, yeah, because we have, there's a couple, I think we may have found Neil's Dow location. I think I saw that. So, I'm not sure if... Well, Neil opens up Babel Tower, at least. But I don't know if he opens up any other locations other than that. But we'll see.
I did pick that up. Thank you, SpeedGaming Delay. I wasn't sure if I picked up that one chest. Ooh, need that. Now, it's a little bit of a waste of time to go ahead and do this now and then backtrack, but I'd like to have the inventory space in case I pick up more stuff that I can't get rid of, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the wind melody, but by all means, everyone in chat, get your guesses in. Which tile do you think is going to be illuminated?
Yep. There are 12 columns and 6 rows. The vanilla one is the 8th column? No, 9th. 9th column, 4th row.
5th row.
5th row. I know this game. All right. The winner gets... Solar, what does the winner get?
Oh, no, don't put that on me. Satisfaction in knowing they were better than everyone else in chat.
Winner gets a gift sub to SolarCell's Twitch channel.
You monster. I can't wait around for that. Where is it? Column 11, row 3.
Well, better luck next time, Chad. shout outs to Neo, who is doing the French commentary right now. Let's see. I want to say something about a butterfly because I just love how it sounds in French. Papillon. And so maybe if I say butterfly, he'll have to translate it. Papillon. Anyway, so Neo has a strat where he discovered if you stand on a pixel perfect location, you can actually stand on 4 tiles at once, and it takes 10 seconds. And so, you know, normally what's 6 times 12? 7? I don't know. Math is hard. Instead of having to do that 10-second check, you know, 72 times or whatever that ends up being, you only have to do it whatever a quarter of that is, you know. So there's a way that you can cheese it if you don't have the wind melody. If you know, if that's the only thing you have and you're in go mode, otherwise it might be worth it. I think on average it takes like, I don't know,
my gosh,
less than 2 minutes.
All right, proof of concept for Bagu. Did we see this room already?
Well, let's see.
My gosh, Bagu, that was early on.
Yeah.
Euro, we've already been into that area, so.
Yeah, so Babel's the only thing that this unlocks. Now, Babel doesn't have an exit, and so there's a dark space here that does not show up. Ooh, that's nice. Does not show up in the vanilla game in this location. We actually moved it from the floor above to allow you to warp out of this location. We did the same thing with Edward's Prison, where we moved. There's a dark space in like an adjacent cell, and we moved it into Will's cell so that if you don't have the key, you can warp out of there. Those are some of the changes that we made to the game just to make the randomization possible. All right, so what are you thinking, Solar? What's on our to-do list?
Well, Bagu, I'm glad you asked. I don't know. No, I'm going to go to Itori since I just got Lola's Melody, and that gives me a few more entrances.
Well, thanks everyone for watching. This has been fun. We're just going to nope out on the seed right now because our runner doesn't know what to do.
I need to get the Water Mia, so I need to get the Frisia, and I'm going to get the Frisia by going down here. So yeah, Itori's going to have a couple, well, one item check, and then a few different entrances I can go through.
Yeah, so you unlock Itori with Lola's Melody. Otherwise, if you go there, you just see nothing and it just kicks you out.
I could also go back and check the coffins in Seaside. Let's get rid of the Will while I'm here.
No, Will, you have so much to live for. Oh, you mean... Oh, okay, gotcha.
Still early for you, huh?
You know what? I've had my coffee. I'm good to go.
We can also go back to Diamond Mine. I've got the elevator key. We got 2 item checks we can get there.
Mm-hmm. And we can show off one of the speed ups. One of the recent quality of life speed ups that we put into the game. Since Killer 6 is required, we'll also get to see the fast elevators there. So that's fun.
One thing that's still plaguing my mind is I don't know. I forget where I warped. Or how I warped into the prison cell. So I'm gonna hope I luck into that exit somewhere else, and I don't have to worry about that.
I remember where that is, but I'll never tell.
Oh, well, that's also an option.
Cress is calling your name. Do we have all 3 now, right? We can get to the end of Cress. There's 3 checks there. And probably even more important than the 3 checks, 3 opportunities to clear out inventory space.
Alright. We can get a hint from this elder on the left side. We also go into the cave down here for our final exit. Oh. Pyramid, you got a lot of good stuff on you.
Yep. So okay, so our big bottleneck item right now is probably the aura. That gives us access to 11 checks. Count them, 11 checks in Pyramid. And it's also one of the required items to beat the game, so that's nice.
Okay, let's go to Cress, because I hate myself.
Ah, thank you, Turbo.
No,
C says
thank
we
you,
go to
Turbo.
Crest. Yes, we could. Yes, we could. Yes, we could. We could go to Crest. That is something we could do.
And
All right, let's do a check-in on items. Our go mode is both mine keys. We know that one of them is in the pyramid. We just got that hint right there. We need both Inca statues. Have we gotten any hints on Inca statues?
Possibly. I think one's in the pyramid.
All right, one's in the pyramid. Pyramid's got all kinds of good stuff. We are going back into Crest to clear this out. Thankfully, we will never come back here again, ever in our entire lives. We need 2 crystal balls. We need 3 hieroglyphs. And we need the aura.
What are you doing, Solar?
Solar, what are you doing, Solar? I don't know why he's eating herbs, because he has a big boss fight at the end of this game. He's gonna need those herbs, and I don't know why he's wasting them on Crest. Do.
Where the heck is your faith in me? I ain't got time to die in here.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Julian asking about the dark Gaia wrong warps in the rando. Yes, actually, it was in a rando playthrough that those warps were found. We don't know where they go. I have no idea if they go to the same place they do in
at least
vanilla
circumstantial they do. I had warped in a rando to the Comet flight to beat the game. Same kind of setup.
Why is it easier in the rando? I remember them saying early on that the that's a sexy strat right there to get past that spider. But I heard it was easier to activate that glitch in the rando.
Dagu, my heart hurts. My whole soul is torn apart now. I believe Raven's initial discussion was about how we had early Firebird, so Firebird was loaded in as an extra object in there.
Oh, that's right. There is, yeah, I remember that now.
I don't know
okay, so
how much weight that carries, though.
No, I think you're right. Okay, so the way that the wrong warp works, which again is a recent discovery in this game, in one of the rooms in Crest, there are a boatload of enemies, and they're the kind of enemies that are actually loaded into memory even if they're off screen. And they're the kind of enemies that create other sprites when they spit webs. I'm talking about the spiders in particular. So they spit out acid, they spit out webs. These all create other objects, and so what we do is we have an overload issue. And what it does is it pushes sprite information into memory that is typically being watched by the game to determine, whether Will should warp somewhere. And, the warp location is based off of the X and Y coordinates of actually the shields that are spawned when you use Aura Barrier. So using Aura Barrier also creates more sprites, which creates more overload, and that kind of ends up being the tipping point in causing Will to just warp to wherever he wants. And so in the randomizer, in order to unlock early Firebird, we have to create an additional sprite, essentially. Not a sprite, but another actor on the map. You can see the lag there when he runs by there. It's all those enemies, the game trying to handle all of them. So we have essentially an extra enemy on the screen in the randomizer than we have in the vanilla game, and so the setup is easier. And so that's why it was able to be discovered in the randomizer, and the rest is history. 2 months of glorious history.
Okay, well, I need one more red jewel, and then I can take the the jeweler warp. I don't know where he's going to send me.
I'm sure it's going to be somewhere really useful and helpful. Turbo with the puns. Oh, I've been missing so many pun opportunities.
Oh my gosh, why? Why remind him?
I'm going to use this opportunity to share my favorite pun. So what did Kanye West say to Taylor Swift at the VMA Music Awards? Do you remember?
Gosh, no.
I'm going to let you finish.
Was that it? Am I missing it?
That's it.
You've completely undone everything I just stored in my mind about this game.
Well, you're welcome.
Okay.
Wow, a game-ending pun. I think that might be a first for me.
Oh my gosh.
I told you it was a good one.
Oh, wait. Wait. I did. Okay.
Paga, did I play this seed before? I may have played this seed before because Entrance Randomizer may still be in development and may or may not, again, neither confirming nor denying, may or may not have the opportunity to soft lock the player if they get locked behind a one-way exit and cannot escape. And there may or may not be the opportunity to gather items behind those soft locks that may or may not be required to beat the game. And so, yeah, it's possible that I may have vetted this seed beforehand just to make sure that it was beatable. I may have actually played through it twice just to make extra sure that it was beatable, because SolarCell is my good friend and I don't want him to be embarrassed because of me on such a venue as this. I mean, I knew he would embarrass himself just from his own gameplay. But that aside, I don't want it to be my fault.
Woof. He's had his coffee.
All right, so where are we going, Solar? What are we doing?
I'm gonna go to Diamond Mine.
All right, there's 2 items in Diamond Mine. There is an opportunity to get rid of the Earthquaker, what am I thinking? The elevator key. The Earthquaker key, that's the thing. And also an opportunity
my
to
gosh, Bagu!
Don't mind me, I'm taking a leak. Okay.
Why, game? That could have been way worse.
I love that NPC. I love that NPC so much.
Actually,
there's a petition to do something about that PC, and I don't think I ever will.
I don't think it needs it.
I think I might refuse. I think that guy is just there forever.
Oh wait. Oof! I missed out on thinking of where that was going to take me. Okay. Warp back to Southgate. We're going to Diamond Mine.
Diamond Mine.
Except we're not going to Diamond Mine. I'm going to see where this takes me as a warp, and then when I leave, it should take me to Dow, which will take me to Diamond Mine anyway.
There you go. That's a thought process that totally makes sense and does not at all sound like the ravings of a madman.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. We were talking about the shrine earlier and about how it's
so
my
pretty.
favorite place for visual glitches. Totally worth. Just, it's like ASMR for the eyes.
Well, let's see. I wonder if the Great Bagu could, maybe just... Well, no, let's see what we get here. Also...
Well, it started with the Great Bagu, so I'm liking the sentence already. I wish you would finish it.
Oh, I gotta take this elevator real quick. Alright, that ride's over.
Don't fall off. Oh, I so wish that I was good enough to put like a Sonic, you know, like a teetering animation there.
Oh, that would've been pretty cool. Yeah.
Just for when he's on that elevator. Queen likes my elevator noise. Choo 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 choo. There it is again. So we've already had the visual ASMR with the shrine, and now you have your audio ASMR. Choo, 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 choo. Solar, you gonna do any soft talking ASMR for this stream?
Nope. You get right out of here with that. Alright, let's see what I have in my inventory. Prison key. You know, Bagu?
I don't know.
I might need to find that location. And if you know off the top of your head, I'm sure I would love to know where that prison was.
Well, let's spitball a little bit about what that could be, because sending you to the prison is a one-way exit, correct?
Yeah.
Work with me, Hal. Give me something. Yeah, because the king normally sends you there, and there's no way to get back. So that's a one-way exit. Now, I think when I coded this, I made it so that the one-way exits get shuffled among themselves first. So that exit is probably linked, actually has to be linked to one of the other one-way exits in the game. Now, the other one-way exits in the game include the Moon Tribe Warp and the Euro Shop. So if I'm guessing off the top of my head, it has to be one of those two.
I'm looking at the Moon Tribe, which I was just there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's go double check that.
By the way, I'm this close. I'm so close. I feel like a mad scientist, but I've been in the lab so long. I feel like I'm this close to having a method for preventing soft locks and entrance randomizer. But we'll see. Yep. Alright, so 2 down, 1 to go.
Okay.
This is gonna be totally worth it at the end, by the way. I'm sure. I feel it in my bones. I mean, this exit is going to be the secret, if we can ever find it.
Entrance rando, everybody. Go head back all the way through what we just did.
Julian says, I have no idea what's happening or what needs to continue. It's a little confusing. So as you can tell, this is entrance randomizer, meaning that every exit, every door, every cave leads somewhere random. And so we're jumping all over the map, you know, from here to there. But these are the things that we know that we need to do. We need 4 mystic statues. We specifically need statues 1, 2, 4, and 5. That we get those by beating Castoth and Inca, by beating Viper in Sky Garden, by beating Fenger, Sandfenger in the Great Wall, which SolarCell has already done, and by beating Mummy Queen. So, okay, and we also need to rescue Kara, who we know is at the back of Diamond Mine. So, looking at his item tracker, the items that we still need to get to the end of Inca, we need both Inca statues. We have neither one of those. To get to the end of Diamond Mine, we need both mine keys. To get to Viper, we need 1 more crystal ball to get the 4 that we need. To get to Mummy Queen, we need 3 more hieroglyphs. And we need to find the aura. And then we're done. And that's the game.
Speaking of stuff I forgot about. Hey, it's Mew. Alright.
Mew.
Place takes you to Mew, because I'm not writing all that down. I need to go through... Actually, I don't want to do this yet. I'll check this other exit. I have to go through Angel Dungeon, also.
Yes, there's an exit over there, which is
plus
totally,
an item
sure,
that
lead you to a good place.
I need Slider for.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Oh, well, we can do the pyramid now, which means we're probably going to get a lot of what we need.
Stella asks, why is the character bald? Solar, why is the character bald?
Because Solar's bald.
That, that's not what I was getting at. But... oh, just the inflection in which you said that just sounded like it's like. And class, why do we keep track of our stuff? Because we don't want to lose it.
So yeah, as one of the original
That made my day.
playtesters, Bagu was very kind enough to make personalized sprites for us. So I have a sprite, Psy990 has a sprite, and Mr. Freet has a sprite.
I wanted to make one for DJ Tifa Hard as well, but what I did for her instead was I made her own custom ROM hacking tool for the game that does some other stuff.
My gosh, I thought you were just putting text in for her.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what it does. Yeah, because I know she doesn't like to stream with a mic, so we I gave her some memes that she could access in game to react to various things that could happen in the randomizer.
I was taking a drink of water. I was not prepared for that cutscene.
That's a fast cutscene. You can actually start moving out of that cutscene earlier than normal as well. I kind of missed that cutscene actually. I mean, I don't know if it's my sense of humor or what, but I feel like the idea of having this long cutscene, this big build up, and then just have him say, "Hey," I don't know.
My gosh, Mew. Is this even randomized?
I can't be bothered to randomize everything. Okay, so I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back about this.
Yes, sir.
Look, I went through, I painstakingly by hand mapped all the exits to each other, just for you. I randomized like probably 98% of the items, and.
All right. All right.
Sue me. Okay?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bagu. I'm
time.
sorry. Okay. I'm sorry.
Gosh, you give them an inch, they ask for a mile. This is why we can't have nice things, Solar. This is why we can't have nice things.
Hey, it's Mikey.
Yep, we need those. All right, so we're getting closer to go mode. With that mine key, that's
40 minutes? Yeah, we can do
this.
this in 40 minutes. For sure.
Yeah, no problem. Alright, so 2 Statues of Hope in Mew. That's very nice. That means that he can full clear this dungeon without having to double dip it. Double dip it.
Nice.
It's a fun phrase to say. Double dip it.
Bagu, the easily amused.
Hey, look, a squirrel.
Now, Solar kind of wants to fight the vampires.
Sorry, Paga. You give them a centimeter, they take a kilometer.
Whatever happened to you give a mouse a cookie?
Well, it asks for a glass of milk. I got young boys. I know all about giving mice cookies and such. And the like. Giving mice cookies, cats and hats, who's being heard by Hortons, all the things.
Alright, we have one more item check in here.
Anything you need to know.
It's a little bit of a pain to get to.
I hate this check so much.
I know. It's not like I can death warp that because I want to. Well, it actually might be faster to death warp and run back through there.
Probably. It's one of those checks that is never worth it. It's either never worth it or it's absolutely the one check you need.
I'm proud of myself. I haven't screeched yet from trying to avoid damage from a wizard.
That's all right. We got Killer 6 coming up, so we'll get some Valhalla action going on, I'm sure.
That's a lot of pressure, man. Yeah, so we remembered Killer 6.
Start doing your vocal warm-ups now, and then by the time we get there, you'll be nice and ready. Valhalla. There, see, there's a warm-up you can do. Worth.
So mad, so mad.
Hey, that is a French vanilla. That's a French vanilla nothing right there. I may or may not have known that that would be a nothing.
How much did you giggle when you playtested this seed? For some of these things.
Hey, I will tell you that I do like you enough that there was one seed I was gonna playtest before this one, and the first dark space had slider in it, and I said nope.
Bless
So,
you, sir.
You're welcome.
Bless you. Alright, let's get some extra HP just to be safe since it's the marathon. I'm not too worried about the pyramid, I'm worried about Apocalypse Gaia. I don't want to go too overboard with insanity.
Alright, let's go kill some vampires. Solar, would you like to explain why we don't want to see slider early?
Sure. If you speedrun this game, you've grown accustomed to a multitude of tricks you can do with Will. Unpopular opinion, Will is the best character. Because of some of his movement tech and invincibility moves. But
even better than aura glitching. Wow, okay. That is an unpopular opinion.
But, well, from a speed, you get more speed from some of the invincibility moves Will has. But, in any case, a lot of those moves require Will to be sprinting and then you pressing the attack button. But when you have Slider, when you're sprinting and press the attack button, you slide and you lose some of your access to those ability moves, like speedrun tech moves. So we see Slider early on in the run. You can't really easily break through a bunch of stuff. So you kind of have to do a lot more in the game vanilla-wise. Kind of slows you down. Alright, Vamps are dead. We used Aura Glitch there. Lovely little glitch.
And please join us next week for our next installment of Speedrunner Talks Casually while totally wrecking a boss that we all had trouble with as kids.
Oh, Aura Glitch.
Yeah, it helps to have. You don't normally have Shadow at that point in the game. You're able to make quick work of them with a glitch called the Aura Glitch, where if you hit the attack button and you hit the aura button...
You alright over there,
within a few
Bagu? You're
frame
cutting in
window.
and out a little bit.
Oh no! Let me try reconnecting, sorry.
Actually, no, that's not you cutting out. That's me cutting out. I think my headset's dying. Not good.
Okay, let's try this again.
Sorry. You're fine, Bagu. That was me. It's totally me, not you. I had to keep my head tilted a little bit. My headset's dying.
Oh, I've heard that before. It's not you, it's me. Come on. Come on. That's the oldest line in the book, Solar. Don't break my heart.
Oh. Well,
anyway.
I have a little bit of technical difficulty.
Oh, what's going on? That's right. We get to see some of these very nice NPC animations that Quintet put a lot of effort into in the South Cape, and you don't really see this kind of effort being put into NPC.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna be able to hear anything. So Bagu, I'm gonna leave the commentary to you because I'm not gonna know when you're talking.
Oh no!
But I will go ahead and say I'm heading over to the pyramid now.
It's a good call.
So that's gonna be kind of my pathing for a little bit. Take it away, Bagu.
Cool. Well, we know that there are lots of items in the pyramid because of all the spoilers that we got. A lot of Go mode items are there in the pyramid, and the pyramid has roughly 10% of all the items in the game anyway. It has a total of 12 items there. 11 of those items are locked behind the aura, which we just found. So going to pyramid is the right call here. We may get all the items that we need there. Who knows? Stay tuned. Alright, so is this headset that's giving him an issue? That's fine. I can talk enough for the both of us. Alright, so the way he is to get to the pyramid is we need to navigate through a few continents. I believe he's going to use this gentleman here at the bridge to warp him to Diamond Coast, which is on the final continent. This is Overworld Shuffle for those that are just joining us on the lovely SpeedGaming Twitch site. And so what that means is there are 19 overworld locations in the game, and we've separated those into continents for the randomizer, 5 continents. 2 of those have 5 locations on them. 1 has 4, 1 has 3, and 1 has 2. And they're all just shuffled amongst each other. And so this is the last continent we've been able to get to.
Good news,
The
Bagu.
Lola's letter in order to get there.
I'm back.
We'll just call that news. How about that? All right, so we returned to the pyramid. We've been here once before. We dropped off a hieroglyph. We got the 1 item here from Gaia. And now we can get 11 more items now that we have access to Shadow.
You hear me okay now, Bagu?
I hear you just lovely. I hear you just fine.
Awesome. Have a spare headset? We're good to go.
Nice. Looking slick. All right, so what's going to be your route through this dungeon, Solar? There are 6 rooms. What's the order?
I'm gonna go speedrun route here for all bosses are 100%. So I'm gonna get the item in room 5, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do Killer 6, I guess. Get that out of the way, then back to room 5, and then we'll die and do the rest of the rooms as well.
You can do room 2 as well?
Why, yes, Bagu. You can do room 2 as well. There's a very interesting strat that an amazing individual found for
wish
the
I could
entire
remember their
speedrun
name.
community. Why did I? Oh, I had to do that. That's right. What was that guy's name?
The name escapes me. Starts with maybe an X. I'm not sure.
You know what? I'm gonna throw this one to you, Bagu. I'm gonna throw this one to you. Special shout outs to Don't Bagu Me.
Don't Bagu me. I don't know, just that name just sounds, I don't know. It brings warmth to my heart. Your strats through this room do not bring warmth to my heart. Just saying. Anyway, see, he's about to do. Okay, well, actually, okay. So I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna punt that shout out over to Mana Freak. I mentioned him earlier. He's the one that is developing the Gaia the Creator ROM hacking game. GaiaTheCreator.blogspot.com. Go download it and have fun digging into the game and creating your own stuff. Oh, I love those fast elevators. Anyway, I was actually preparing for entrance randomizer for this mode that we're seeing right now. I was going through all the rooms and seeing how they all connected, and I noticed that in room 2 of the pyramid there was, just kind of off the map, there was this graphic of just this long jump down vertical thing. And I'm like, what is this? I don't know what this is used for. And so I started poking around in that room, and I found out that if you are Will or Freedan, if you jump down twice on this one area...
Sorry, Bagu, as you were.
If you jump down on this one area twice, then you can crack the floor and fall through. So it was before that it was thought that you had to be Shadow to get through that room and melt through the floor. Ends up being faster if you do it as well. So there you have it. Also, Valhalla. All right, so the order of these hieroglyphs has been randomized. If you're familiar with the game, you can memorize what position they go in, and so you can totally neglect getting your father's journal. In the randomizer, it's important to get father's journal because those 6 hieroglyphs can be in any order. I believe that translates. I'm no mathematician, but I think that translates to something like 72 possible combinations. It's got to be more than that. I'm thinking of the ink tiles.
Ow. Might only be 72. Is it 72?
Is it? It's 6. What is it? 6 factorial, or factorial? 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2.
Well, more than that then.
Yeah, no. Isn't it like 4 something? Hold on. Let me pull out my hand.
30, 120, 360, 720.
Yeah, that sounds right. So you could try to brute force it, but it would take you quite a while.
My gosh,
So-
Pyramid. You are stacked.
I know, it's got everything. So we are very quickly approaching go mode as we get these final items in Pyramid. Looks like now what we need to get Statue 1, we need just one more Inca statue, and we're good to go. To get to the end of Diamond Mine and rescue Kara, we just need one more mine key. Oh, we have all our crystal balls, so we can go fight Viper whenever the flip we want to. So that's nice. We can fight Mummy Queen when we find 2 more hieroglyphs, and that is our go mode. All right, so where do you think you're gonna go after this? Ooh, a crystal ring.
Probably. Well, it depends on what I get. If I get my other Inca statue, I'll head and do Inca, and then Viper.
Oh yeah. If you get your other mine key, you can go rescue Kara first, and then that gives you access to early Firebird because you just found.
That would be fun to show off to everybody, right?
Yeah.
We
So
can
in
do
the
that.
randomizer, you can set a check mark to unlock Firebird early. The Firebird attack is the final attack you get in the game is the ranged attack when you're in Shadow's form, and you need that to beat the game. But we decided to unlock it early because it's fun, and why not? So another shout out to Raven Zero for orchestrating that and making that happen. Yeah. So if you rescue Kara and you get the crystal ring, that unlocks the Firebird attack early, and you can use it for bosses, for enemies. It's just a lot of fun. It kind of trivializes some of the bosses in the game, but who doesn't like a little trivialization for some of these hard bosses? Okay, so that hieroglyph tile brings us even closer to go mode. We're down to needing 1 Inca statue, 1 mine key, and 1 hieroglyph. And that's all we need. Alright, there's 3 more items we get here in the pyramid after this one. Or no, including this one.
Maybe 4? Woo!
Are there 2 in room 2?
There are 2 in room 2.
Oh, there's our last hieroglyph? Okay, so it's possible that we just get go mode here in the pyramid, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Then I won't have to go back to Angel Dungeon. Or any other scary place.
What other scary places are left? I think we've done them all. Crest is done. Angkor Wat is done.
This time around, when I say scary place, I mean any place I don't remember. Because it's entrance rando.
Right. Yeah, we found Angel Dungeon pretty early on. We never got to the end of it, but there's only 1 item there in the entrance rando, isn't there?
Yep.
And the end of it doesn't even take you to the normal place, so I can just
What the heck?
Okay. Yeah, pyramid is where it's at. Pyramid is loaded. Oh goodness. Okay. Oh, there you have it.
What do you got for me, room 1?
Okay, so if room 1 has the Inca statue, then that's Inca statue's all we need now, right? Is that
Yeah,
everything?
I don't think I've seen something this stacked before in a pyramid.
Mm. Stacks on stacks. It's like a rap song up in here.
Oh, Bagu. Can you commentate every run for this marathon?
Can't you see? Sometimes you just hypnotize me. Come on.
That's too like the original. You're gonna get DMCA'd, Bagu.
Well, I got the lower voice because it's so early in the morning for me, so that's part of it. All right.
Oh.
Go mode. Go mode. Isn't it lovely for go mode?
Now we're seeing some unrest in the chat, but hopefully they understand that this is just how it goes when you properly plan out everything in your run. And so obviously this is how this was gonna play out.
Yeah, there's no other way this could have happened. When you have such a seasoned runner as solarcell007, who never makes any misjudgments or any mistakes,
So lucky.
you can come to expect this level of professionalism and good routing with every playthrough.
All right, what you got for me, Mel McQueen? Come down here.
Now, since we're filling a half hour, we could nope out of this fight and go get Firebird and really trivialize this boss fight.
No. Firebird makes it worse. At least for me.
Explain yourself.
I'm not as in tune with timing Firebird, so in Mummy Queen's second phase, it wouldn't make any difference because I wouldn't want to be standing away from her. I want to be close up to the ring to keep doing damage.
That's when it helps not to be a speedrunner. Spam strats, baby. Boom. That's how I roll. Firebird, 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 Firebird. There's no way you can miss. Necrozero says one of these days I'll play Illusion of Gaia for the actual story. It's an interesting story for sure. There's there's some story. There's some story.
There's camels.
There's camels. There are camels. There's ruining people's lives. There's snitching on getting slaves recaptured. There's kamikaze pigs. There's all kinds of interesting stuff.
Where am I going? I'm going Diamond Line. Where's Diamond Line? It's in here.
There's shaming your friends for having emotions. There's all kinds of great nuggets in the story of Illusion of Gaia.
No, we can do this.
Alright, where are we going?
We are going to Watermia to go to Euro to go to Diamond Mine.
Nice! Unlocking that early Firebird. It's what we like to see. Showing off some cool palette shuffling mechanics of the Firebird attack. It's good stuff. So I don't know if I've ever asked you this, Solar. When's the first time, like when did you first play Illusion of Gaia, and what made you interested in speedrunning it?
Well, the first time I played Illusion of Gaia was when I was a kid, relatively recently after it came out. It was interesting for sure. I remember getting lost in Mew a lot, and that's about it.
Hey, Samlet.
It's Samlet. Yeah, I'll take that. Speedrunning it. It's an RPG. It's an action RPG. That's enough for me. my gosh.
We all love Samlet. Samlet is one of those happy accidents in the game. I'll explain where that came from. All right. So it's actually a huge challenge trying to get Kara's portrait to show up in these other minor dungeons. Because of sprite sets and things like that. So you can't have sprites from multiple tile sets on the screen at once. But that particular map is a problem because you have laborers on that map, and one of those laborers gives you an item. So it's not like we can just take out the sprites. We have to leave something there. And so we were looking at the tile set for Kara's painting, and on that tile set, Hamlet happens to be there. And so I was like, okay, well, we'll just turn Hamlet into Samlet. Because that character's name is Sam, who gives you the item. Now, that did something funky with the palettes, and so Samlet turned blue. And I didn't know how to change that. And actually, I'm colorblind, so I didn't even notice there was anything wrong until someone pointed it out to me. And so that's where blue Samlet.
What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh no, Bagu. Oh no, Bagu.
Nice pun. My nerd. Hold on, what's happening? I got all excited talking about Samlet. I'm not sure where we are.
We're in Inca. I'm gonna go fight Cast Off.
I see that we're in Inca.
But I wasn't taking my shortcuts.
Shortcuts, that's right, of course. Okay, so in Inca, you can... In the randomizer, as you pass through the dungeon, you're going to want to kill certain enemies so that you unlock these ladders. And that makes it so that if you are the level of professional gaming streamer solarcell007 who never makes mistakes, then you, when you return to this dungeon, will be able to very quickly get to where you need to go.
Oh, we're going to have words after this stream.
Come at me, bro. Come at me. Alright, so with this fight with Castoff, okay, so if Solar is very precise with his inputs, he can actually do Castoff in one cycle. Usually the Castoff fight takes 2 cycles at least. But so we're gonna get to see. All right, so fingers crossed. We'll see if we can get the 1 cycle with Shadow. I don't know. It's gonna be really tight though. So there's the early Firebird. How lovely. Also, we get to show off this funky magic right here. See you, buddy. Alright, so what that is, Shadow isn't supposed to go on ladders. And so you get some weird stuff happening if Shadow goes on ladders. You can actually keep going off the stage. And just kind of keep going forever. And loop back around, actually, so that's fun. Okay. Holy cow! All right.
That's what I get. Oh, that's so totally what I get for messing around.
It's like, don't be hard on yourself. I set it up perfectly. This is a very precise trick to get the 1 cycle. You have to be frame perfect.
I'm never gonna live this down, Bagu. It's over for me. I'm gonna have to retire.
It's over.
It's over. Alright. We're gonna go fight Viper and we are gonna be done.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're gonna fight Viper and then we're gonna fight Apocalypse Gaia and then we'll be done. Now, Apocalypse Gaia is I always look forward to seeing this fight. This is really fun. For those of you that missed it earlier, Apocalypse Gaia is the hidden, true final boss, hidden in the code, intended by the developers. For whatever reason, they ran out of time. They thought it was too hard. They, who knows what they thought. But what we got was Dark Gaia. But what we're going to get today is Apocalypse Gaia. And you, chat, are in for a treat.
Fun thing with Entrance Randomizer, sometimes it's hard finding dark spaces to warp back to your starting location.
Well, when you have the level of professional gaming that you come to expect from solarcell007.
Oh my gosh.
Speed gamer extraordinaire.
I'm starting to gag from this.
These are the kind of these are the kind of issues that the normal people may have problems with, but not SolarCell.
Now you would think that I would remember this since I've done this 400 times, but no, I'm here looking at my notes like a scrub.
Mm-hmm. As I said before, entrance randomizers are all about taking good notes.
Alright, off the Sky Garden, which will, after we beat Viper, split us out into Seaside, which we just take to a dark space, and once you have all your go mode items, you just talk to Gaia in any dark space, and she will transport you to the final boss.
Oh man, the Viper fight with Firebird is one of my favorite things, but it looks like we're probably not gonna.
Yeah, that's a little out of the way to go get.
Even though we have 20 extra minutes to kill. Now, these are some great attack cancel strats for this Viper fight. Oh, I wish I could remember the name.
Yeah, I feel like someone really revolutionized this fight.
Who was it? I'm embarrassing myself. I wish I could remember.
Speaking of embarrassing yourself, what am I doing right now? No, I feel bad now, Bagu.
Yeah, well, I mean, someone optimized this fight. The fight that you're currently seeing is not the optimized fight.
You jerk. You're such a jerk. Shout outs to Mr. Freet for really changing how people can go about that Viper fight. If you ever want to see that fight done properly and really, really smooth and amazing, go watch Mr. Freet do that fight.
Mr. Freet! That's the name of the gentleman that I'm thinking of.
Alright, it is time to Apocalypse Gaia.
Wait, you just gonna let Psycho Dash just sit there?
Yeah, heck yeah, I'm gonna let Psycho Dash sit there. Who
You're
puts
not
that
even
in
gonna
Seaside?
get Psycho Dash. I don't know. Alright, what's our quote?
By Crom. What the heck is that from, Bagu?
By Crom! Isn't that, oh, who is that? It's either He-Man or, Conan. So it's one of those. I think it's He-Man says that. Okay, so we are going to be starting out this fight the same as in the normal game, with two. Normally, this is a two-phase fight. The first phase is this giant comet face that spits acid lightning on you, or acid rain. And then the second one is this monstrosity that throws bubbles, green electric things, and laser mouths at you. And that's when you would think, as being a fan of this game, that the game is over. But would you be wrong? Because we are in for 3 additional phases of Apocalypse Gaia. Again, reconstructed and discovered from the hidden ROM codes by the illustrious Raven Zero, extraordinaire ASM programmer, restored to its original intended beauty with some artistic licenses, and fought valiantly and expertly by the very own solarcell007 from the IOGR community. What a treat we are in for today.
Ow.
I built you up with this big long intro, and all
This whole time I'm sitting here like, man, you gotta drag this out for another phase, bag.
Okay, I'll come up with some like medieval level, you know, titles for you. Let's see. Let's see. Solar Cell, the Knight of the Shiny Dome, the Vanquisher of Hamlets, the Warrior of the Comet, the Restorer
oh my gosh,
of
Dark Gaia,
Evolution.
finish faster.
The
All right, on to phase 3. Here we go.
Okay, phase 3. By the way, bright flashing light alert for this phase 4 that's coming up after this. If you're sensitive to that, then just to give you a heads up, there's a little bit of flashing that'll be happening in a second. But this is phase 3. Again, this would be GG if we were playing the vanilla game, but now this is the floating heads of death with the spitting balls of flame. Aptly and officially named, so by me just now. Alright, so he can take care of these two heads one after another, while avoiding these bubbles, which are psycho faster bubbles than normal, and these unblockable circles of flame. And then we get to the, I don't want to say it on stream, but it starts with the word cluster. That is phase 4. And this is just like a bullet hell spam situation, but if you have good timing and good luck, you can get through relatively unscathed.
Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie.
There's a lot more.
I'm alive!
Alright, and there's phase 4. So now phase 5, this is what I call the float like a butterfly, sting like a bee phase, where you're essentially playing cat and mouse tag with this floating head and the various accoutrements that spew forth from it. So he's having to... So the position of the head depends on your position. So vertically, you know, going up and down, you can't just go on the top there and spam attack, because Gaia goes up. You have to either dance like Solar's doing or get underneath. You know, you have to kind of take your opportunity. And all the while, you have these green shiny orbs that are coming at you that are blockable, but then you have these red orbs that are not blockable, that you have to listen for and watch for. And all the while you have to make sure you're blocking at the right time and using aura at the right time. This is just fun.
All the while the music speeds up as this fight gets further and further into this phase.
Another happy accident brought to you by the IOGR.
I should say too that time's gonna come up whenever this phase dies. Which would be in 3 more hits?
Yeah, something like that. I really enjoyed this fight. I wish they had kept it in the vanilla game. I see what they were getting at. I think it's nice. It's nicely paced. You have a little bit of bullet hell. Here you have a little bit of just kind of, you gotta be tactical, and you gotta be strategic with your hits, and keep track of lots of things at once. It's a lot of fun. And again, if you play the randomizer, you can choose to face Dark Gaia, you can choose to face Apocalypse Gaia, you can choose a random Gaia, so that once you get past phase 2, you'll be surprised as to whether the game ends or whether you have 3 more phases. Gilad asks, what is going on? And that is the question that everybody's asking. Solar getting wrecked by those unblockable red orbs that I talked about earlier. Luckily for him, this is not
Good job! Alright. You win this round, Apocalypse Gaia.
That's alright. We got 12 minutes to fill. Or
yeah, this is
minutes
time
to fill,
filler right here.
It's alright. I want to see this fight again. Oh, one nice thing that Raven did is that he set a checkpoint at the 3rd phase, so we can skip the boring original phases and skip straight to phase 3. Another cool thing that he put in is that whatever herbs you have coming into this moment in the fight, you get those herbs restored to you if you die. So that's lovely. We're not gonna pay much attention to how many herbs Solar has left if he uses it anymore. Just because the stackable herbs is still in beta, and so we haven't had a chance to reconcile that with this fight in particular, but we're not going to talk about that at all. We're just going to assume that everything's working wonderfully.
I guess I can't use any herbs for the rest of this fight.
I mean, because we have the professional streamers.
Oh my gosh, how many times?
We're not expecting the ability, we're not expecting the use of any herbs in the rest of this fight. That's my personal expectation. Alright, so the fight's so lovely, we're doing it twice.
Oh! Don't go that too soon.
Alright, so Solar has full stats at this point. He got all 6 statues, even though only 4 was required, so that means he has all the stats in the game. Don't pay no attention to the number of herbs that he has left. This is all completely normal. I mean, I think there are 96 herbs in the game, and you just save them all for this particular moment. Yeah, don't worry about that at all. We're not cheating at all. This is all normal stuff.
Now you done made me get serious, Apocalypse Gaia. How dare you do that?
Uh-oh. We got a serious face going on. We have our serious headphones already. The backup serious headphones, and now we have serious face. We are veritably on the edges of our collective seats watching this fight.
What the heck?
Apocalypse Gaia. One man enters, one man hopefully leaves. Fight to the death.
Having a time, Bagu.
A time it is. A part of me in this moment wishes that Raven had not fixed that issue. Eat your 94 herbs, that's fine. I kind of wish that Ray had kept it so that the music just keeps getting faster and faster after you die. It used to be... Okay, so I mentioned that the speeding up was a happy accident. This is a discovery that I think a change. I don't think this was intended by the developers, but it was actually a bug that Raven put in, and we decided to keep it because we like the sped up music. But if you died and went back to the beginning of the fight, then the music would stay sped up, and it would continue to speed up as you died continually. I kind of wish that he had kept it that way, but it's all right. We'll settle for this. Alright. How are we doing over there, Solar?
Oh, we are doing peachy, Bagu.
How's your day? What you got planned for later today?
Oh, shut up! Time!
Alright, GG.
Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, we just needed to get a little closer to the estimate so we weren't throwing the marathon off too much.
Exactly. It's all exactly as planned.
Woof. Alright, well there you go, everybody. That is an Illusion of Gaia randomizer. Thank you so much, Bagu, for running commentary for this morning. I know it was super, super early for you.
Oh, sure. It's my pleasure. I enjoy getting the chance to hang out with my best friend, Solar.
So, like Bagu mentioned earlier in this run, we're having an Illusion of Gaia randomizer tournament that's going to be starting up in January. Sign-ups are closing in 3 days. And then we'll be back on SpeedGaming back in January. We'll be having a weekend tournament to crown a champion in the randomizer community. I'll be back Wednesday with an Illusion Gaia run, a vanilla Illusion of Gaia run for a Beat Dark Gaia category. I know the Hulk is running Illusion of Gaia later in the marathon too. He'll be doing any % no wrong warp. So if you enjoy Illusion of Gaia, please feel free to jump in for the marathon and see those runs happening. I don't really have much else to say. Thanks for SpeedGaming for having this randomizer in here. It's really good to have the randomizer in a marathon. And just
Indeed.
a wonderful rest of watching the marathon, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Solar, for the stream.